Welcome back to Sermons with the Cave and the wood-fired pizza oven part 2. And you know, it never rains in Southern California, never. Um, but it does hail, and we just wanted to finish up where we left off on the last part 1 of the wood-fired pizza oven. And basically what you saw was the block walls, and we had stubbed them. We had built them up and stubbed them out and put steel in, number 3 rebar in, had it sticking out so we could bend it over into the sub countertops that we would build for the granite, which you can see here. We got this beautiful black granite. It's actually got a bunch of hail on it right now, but it turned out really nice. And then also we bent the steel down here, the steel that was coming out of the block walls. We bent it into the foundation here that was going to support the weight of the pizza oven. And we made ours extra thick, as you can see. This is probably at least 4 inches thick. Now remember, it has 2 layers of the perlite and just regular Portland cement. We didn't use any fancy cement to do this. We just used Portland cement, but we did use the aggregate that we used was perlite. And after watching many videos, I decided to go with perlite instead of vermiculite because it was accessible, and it was it looked like it was going to construct a more solid pizza oven. So what I did was I went to my local block yard that they manufacture the block, the Adobe slump block that we use to build the walls that are supporting the pizza oven. And I asked them, I said, look, I know you use the perlite because it's lightweight. They use it for lightweight concrete, and they also use it for making their blocks. They use the actual perlite, and sometimes it's called cinder sand, but it is like a 3/8 minus, basically, is what you're getting. They screen it, and the aggregate size of the cinder sand, it's volcanic ash is what perlite is, and they screen it, so you're getting 3/8 minus, so you're getting 3/8 inch minus. Anyway, we use that to construct to put on by hand. You'll see that process. Some pictures of actually I had to use the Irishman's video because kind of got busy and didn't take a lot of videos of that part of it, but you can find lots of videos on YouTube about constructing these pizza ovens. That's what I did. I went on and I looked at a lot of them, and some of them were kind of hokey, and you get a little bit of information that, hey, I like that, I don't like this, that's pretty cool, hey, what about this? But eventually you decide on how you're going to do it, and then you add your own little flares. But I really liked the video from Ireland. I think the gentleman, him and his son, did a father-son project. They did such a great job on their pizza oven. I'm waiting for my invitation. Been checking the mailbox. I went down yesterday and checked it, and it wasn't there. So kind of waiting for that invitation to come out to Ireland and visit you. But I tell you what, we're going to continue on. So the next photos that you're going to see are the walls with the steel sticking up, and then I'm going to add some narration in between these pictures until we get to the end. So it's good to see you back. I hope you enjoy the wood-fired pizza oven part 2 with Sermons from the Cave. Okay, so in this next series of slides, you'll see we poured the sub base that the pizza oven would actually sit on. And basically, you can see in part 1 where we've just formed it up from underneath, bent the steel down, put some 8x8 welded wire mesh down, and then poured the this sub base here that you can see with concrete, and we mixed it ourselves at a ratio of, it's really, concrete is really easy to make. The ratio is 1-2-3. Making concrete is as easy as 1-2-3. It's one portion of Portland cement, 2 portions of sand, and 3 portions of rock. And so we made the sub base for the oven to sit on, and you're going to see that in the next set of slides. Just as a note, while we're talking about the pizza oven, we have got a lot of use out of this. You think that you might use it like once in a while, maybe you have friends over and stuff, but we really enjoy using this. There's an ambiance to it when you have that fire going inside, and you got somebody in the house putting the pizzas together. We haven't got into making our own dough yet, but we're looking forward to that. We're just buying pre-made crust and then filling in with what we want. But it really is a blessing. We're so glad to have it. So take a look at the sub base that we poured for the oven to sit on. We did not include any wine bottles. I've been checking my neighbor's trash, and you know what? I don't think they drink wine. So we weren't able to get a bunch of wine bottles, but the Irishman that built his, he had a layer of wine bottles that he was using for insulation to keep the heat in. We don't seem to have a problem with heat loss. A little bit with the oven door. I think I mentioned this before, but one thing that I would do is pay attention to the ratio that they want here. I went a little large with this, and I do believe that I think there's a little bit of heat loss that we're getting from this. But overall, I think it is working out really well. It has the dome at the top where the heat swirls around, so it's doing everything it's supposed to. And but I might have made it just a little bit smaller. The temperature in the oven gets up to, we've had it up to 800 degrees, is about the temperature you need to cook a pizza, and you got to turn it pretty quick when you put it in there, because it's pretty hot. But we've actually had this oven, up to over 1,000 degrees. So the next section, we just did another sub base. We poured another countertop out of concrete to support the granite, and you can see it here. You can actually see it here on the edge, right here. You can see the three. I think it's about 3 inches thick, and then the granite's sitting on top of it. We haven't finished this edge. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might leave it the way it is, stain it. But you can see the granite here, and it goes into we have a splash there, and then of course it goes all the way out to the end, and we have an overhang. It overhangs there, and what that does, it allows us to bring that pizza out of the oven and then set it right on that countertop. So we're really happy with the design, the way that it turned out. And you can see my Narnia light back. Let me get my finger in the right spot. Oh, they're right there. And there's my Narnia light. I can't do it. I have to go back up. There he is, right there. You see that? That's my Narnia light. We had to steal that from some street in London. And they never caught us, so here it is. But okay, let's check out the next picture. So the next picture you'll see is my actual form work for the opening, and you'll see the pink. I think it's a Pilates ball. It's a gym ball, or it's some kind of an exercise ball that you pump up. We got the largest one we could. When they're sold in centimeters. So I think the blue one the Irishman used was pretty large, but we got one a little bit larger than his. That's just the way we roll in the United States of America. But it worked fine. I like the oven being bigger. Not that you need a big oven. It burns more wood, takes more wood, but it just seems to work out better for us. And so you'll see in the picture, the next few picture slides, you'll see pictures of that pink ball and then that wooden arch that you construct. And what you do is, if you've been watching these videos, you'll see that they cover everything in saran wrap, and then they'll also put a cardboard. They'll use cardboard around the base of the gym ball to get that's the way that they get those the vertical sides interior of the oven, is that they'll mold cardboard around that gym ball, because the ball is going to be concaved at the bottom. So they just put some cardboard and tape it with some masking tape or duct tape. Duct tape will hold the world up if you get a large enough roll, just to let you know. And then once you do that and you got your arch the way you want it, then go ahead and you can saran wrap everything, or you can saran wrap the ball beforehand. And what that does, it's like a mold release is basically all it is. It's just going to, you can build up your perlite and cement. And you know what? I went by the Irishman's proportions. I forgot what he did. I don't know if it's 1-3 or if it was 1-4. One portion cement to 3 portions of perlite, the cinder sand, however you want to call it. But refer back to his video for that, and you can get an idea of how to put it on. But anyway, check it out. Pretty easy to build these forms, not a whole lot to them. Like I said, there's plenty of videos out there. We just kind of wanted to do something different, and kind of just wanted to invite our friends from Ireland out to California so they could try this guy out here, this big, beautiful wood-fired pizza oven. All right. So the next step is, after it's thoroughly dried, cured is the right word. And gosh, the longer the better. I probably got a little impatient, and fired up my first fire too soon. But you can see the next set of slides is that first fire that you burn. And it's just a little one, gentle fire in the back, just kind of to get it to kind of start wicking off some of that moisture that's going to be in that perlite. That volcanic ash is very porous, and it'll retain liquid moisture. So you want to let it cure. If you're in an area that, like Southern California, we have a lot of sunshine here, so that wasn't a problem for me. But if you're in Ireland where it rains a lot, you're going to want to maybe cover it up with plastic so it doesn't soak up a lot of water, or else you'll never get the thing dry. And then start your first fire. And you can see that I didn't completely stucco it until I had a few fires in it. So you want to start, once it's dry, you want to start stoking some small fires in it and drying it out before you put that cover coat, or that stucco coat, which is stucco. If I hadn't plaster coat, if I haven't explained that yet, basically all it is it's just cement and sand. And you can the ratio for that could be 1-3. So 1 Portland cement to 3 sand, or 1 Portland cement to 2 sand if you want it really rich. And that's basically all plaster is. I mean, you can add some lime if you want it to get a little stickier. If you haven't worked with plaster before, it might be easier for you to have a little lime. You can add a little lime, like I'd say maybe half a shovel. So 1 Portland cement, say 2 to 3 sand, and then a half a shovel full of lime. Okay. Have fun. Okay, so now you're going to see some slides, some photographs of my grinding equipment, my cutting, my cutting equipment that I use to cut and grind uh, concrete. Now this is terrazzo, okay, and all that is just a finish. It's all you're doing is you're grinding, basically grinding the slab, and you're exposing the aggregate. And you can't really see this real well, but you might be able to see that I put some blue stones in there and some amethyst. There's amethyst. There's a darker stone back here. Now this white stone is actually some of the leftover perlite that I had, that I constructed the oven with. So I was able to grind that down, and that's the white look there. So it's really interesting when you do this, but this isn't for everybody. I would say this is kind of for someone who has some experience with countertops and concrete countertops, or floor polishing or cutting and grinding. It's probably not something you're just going to just go out and do or rent the equipment. I've been doing it for a few years, but it does give a nice look for the entrance to the oven. Okay, you can see that there, and so that's what that's about. On to the next slide. Okay, so the next slide you're going to see is the metal door that I made, and yeah, I work with metal too, so I'm kind of a jack of all trades. Not very talented at any of them, but I was able to construct this door. Now, mine isn't as fancy as if you've watched some of the videos. The Irishman put a temperature gauge in his door. Pretty cool stuff. He's basically made his door with the same techniques that I made this one. In fact, I copied him. So with the basic cutout, the basic construction of the door, but it's just basically mild steel like his was, and it's 1/4 inch thick. And then I had this piece of rebar from a construction job. This is pretty big rebar. They use this for bridge building and high-rise buildings. I don't know what size this actually is. Well, I'm going to end the video here. Um, I'm going to end with some slides from the Irishman's video, and I'm not going to narrate it. He already did that. He did a great job. So watch his video. If I can figure out how to put a link in here to it, I will. Otherwise, if you just Google, if you just search for, wood-fired pizza ovens, his video is going to come up. I think he's got like 1.5 million views, which is pretty incredible. It just goes to show you that he did a stellar job on his project. That's my dog. But anyway, we're super happy. As far as cost goes, I went pretty extravagant with the granite and the block. My hands are freezing. It's like snowing out here today for some reason, but I'd say, gosh, I probably in reality, just in materials alone, I probably have $1,500 US dollars in this pizza oven. But hey, you know what? It's worth every penny of it. We have a blast. It's just something to rally around, to get the family out here and just stoke up a fire and enjoy life. That's what it's all about. So you know what? Until I figure out another project to do, I just want to tell you that God bless you. He loves you more than you know, and kind of maybe check out some of my other videos from Sermons from the Cave. Okay, Sermons from the Cave on YouTube. I'm also on Rumble. But God bless you, and may your pizzas always turn out perfect.